Good morning. Wake up. SJV is now live on today's show. The Deuce, Steve Doucette, Dean of Students at Fort Kent Community High School, Valley Rivers Middle School. Today's featured band is his Bad Mother Boogie. Let's have a listen. Once again, this is Friday, May 15th, and this is Bad Mother Boogie. Man, the more I do this, and we're wrapping up week 2 today, the more I get an appreciation for all the great local artists. The Dean of Students will be coming up here, the disciplinarian. And he's lead guitarist here of Bad Mother Boogie. Also lead guitarist for Staph Infection. Let's have a little more listen here to Bad Mother Boogie. All right, great stuff. Once again, this is Wake Up SJV. My name's Eric Workin. Thanks for joining us on a Friday morning. Let's get a quick early look here, if we could, at the weather. I want to give a quick shout out as I load this up to senior at Fort Kent Community High School, Jace Rushlow. I believe I'm wearing his jersey, his old jersey today, number 9 for the Warriors. Of course, no baseball this season, but we're looking to get those seniors one last game somehow. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. So we're going to get the Deuce on here in a little bit, and we'll figure out who the members are of Bad Mother Boogie. But man, they're good. It reminds me a little bit of a band I watched down in the Portland area. I'm a graduate of University of New England by way of Westbrook College. Westbrook College does not exist anymore. They merged with my alma mater, UNE. But anyway, and down there in the old port, there was a band. I think they're still cranking it out. And now I forget the name of them. Motor Booty Affair. Anyway, let's take a look at the weather, brought to you by the National Weather Service out of Gray, Maine. Also stationed here in Caribou. Boom. So, should be a nice weekend here, folks. That wind has really been playing tricks on us. I dealt with it yesterday. 2 days ago, I just couldn't. It really got me down. I got to be honest with you. But yesterday, I was, it was kind of like it is what it is. 38 degrees right now. That's 3 degrees Celsius for you, Mr. Dorman, over in Edmonton. 62, folks, is going to be the high today. That's awesome. Fabulous. Light south wind right there. Look at that. That is the best thing I've seen. So it's going to be an awesome day to be outside. We'll get into some outdoor events here momentarily. Just a little bit of whatever tonight. I'm going to spit a little bit on you. Saturday, are you kidding me? 61. And look at Tuesday next week. High of 63. So here we go. Looks like we're really going to look at Wednesday next week. High near 70. So we're really getting a push here. People are going to be out and about, but stay safe. Continue to practice those safe social distancing recommendations, and I'm in the grocery store yesterday. I got a mask on. Mine's not the best. Not gonna lie to you. I cut a sleeve off a t-shirt and I threw that over my head, but it did the trick as far as I know. But anyway, mask up. When you cannot be 6 feet or more. And listen, there should be no pontoon parties on the on Eagle Lake. 17 of those attached and people doing cannonballs. We're gonna have to wait on that, but I'm no expert. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. We do have, once again, the Dean of Students, the DOS, and Mr. Steve Doucette, a real good friend of mine. So I want to thank him for getting up. He was a little nervous that he would be waking up the household there. So, but he will be with us here in about 9 minutes. Let's dive into some news. Once again, in the Valley, June 5 will be the last student day for all Valley Unified schools. We'll wrap up this remote learning. We'll get into the summer, okay? And move forward. Graduation here, and the Deuce will get into his planning behind this, but the graduation here at Community High School will be June 12th on a Friday. Spring sports, of course, have been canceled. And the fall is really, I was on a statewide athletic director meeting, Zoom, yesterday, and we still just don't know. At this point, we don't know about the fall. We are just in planning and talking about what to do with the summer. But nothing, absolutely nothing will be done until after July 4th. And even then, we don't know what it's going to look like. So just, hey, be patient. If you're a student athlete and you're listening, either live or archived, then you got to do individual workouts. Okay, get some weights, body weight stuff, anything you need. Just crank it out. Okay, and stay mentally sane. There is, folks, an integration plan, the 4 Rs. And I'm going to put this on hold. We are going to share the screen maybe with Mr. Doucette. He can talk us through this. We're really going to put him to work here today. But there are some things that we want to talk about. But let's take a quick look at the Bangor Daily News headlines. I've got some stuff. I'm sure if you're like me, you get into the, you may read, used to be the paper, but we don't have that. Well, some people still do get it, but okay, this is in the way. There we go. That's my first today, and it took 14 minutes. But if you're like me, you get into the articles and whatever kind of piques your interest. But I went down here. This is the coronavirus morning update. So I kind of went through it. Here's what caught my attention. Hotels and other lodging establishments in Maine. Okay, this is huge because hotels, like, for example, we have wow, why did I forget the name of our hotel? The North, anyway, somebody help me. But we have our hotel here. Wow, sorry, my apologies. It will come back to me. Lost a lot of brain cells in my days. Anyway, they can begin reservations, okay, to hotels can begin June 1st. But here's the kicker. Northern Door Inn, by the way, sorry about that. So that's for local in-state Maine residents. But if you're an out-of-state resident, you need to complete a 14-day quarantine before you can check into a hotel. So I know the hotels are trying to fight that. And I don't know how, number two, I don't know how that would look. But anyway, there's one thing. This is pretty, this is good news here. Hannaford Supermarkets is hiring roughly 2,000 workers at stores throughout its 5-state territory to handle increased demand. So Hannaford, we have one right here in town, Parity Shop and Save. Number three. Scarborough-based supermarket chain. So 182 stores statewide. They're going to be hiring, and I can't speak for Parity's here in town, but that's encouraging. Down in Portland, down in the old port, one of the best places to congregate, if you will, in the state, outside of course, Main Street here in Fort Kent. They have a plan to close streets in an effort to help restaurants, because a lot of restaurants are going to try to go in, and other businesses are going to try to go outdoors with their business in an effort to practice safe social distancing. So they're going to close down the streets to traffic, which makes sense. If you've been in the old port, it's pretty packed in there, and that's a good thought. No fireworks, blah, blah, blah. Here's something intriguing. Don't get freaked out, but cats can spread the new coronavirus to other cats without any of them ever having symptoms. So, I know if you're like me, you ask your animal, hey, do you have symptoms? And the animal says no. Well, they can still spread it. I just thought that was fun. And we just went down here a little bit, and that's pretty much the update from the Bangor Daily. Feel free to go on there, if you need to read it for yourself. We have the Deuce coming up in 3 minutes. We're real excited for him to wrap up our week. This is week 2. So what do you think? Give us some feedback here, positive or negative. Sometimes, like it or not, the best feedback is the negative. So you don't like my hair, you don't like my outfits, you don't like what I'm covering. We need to know what you're thinking. I want to thank the producer, Mr. Chaz Pelletier. What a great guy. All the time he devotes to these great productions. Once again, this is on the St. John Valley.live platform, but then it goes out to other various platforms, including the Channel 4 website, the Channel 4 Facebook page, which I have up on my phone, and I'm open for comments. I saw this morning that we were roughly at 9 live. We peaked at 9, Okay, I'm trying to get to double digits here at some point. I want to welcome Missy Sear, Patty Michaud, Abby Martin, all out there watching. Hopefully you stick with it. I know you're all here for the deuce because he is coming up. I don't know if he's going to have his pipes out. He may have his Metallica cutoff shirt. I don't know if he's going to be in suit and tie like he's at work. We just don't know what to expect. I told him to make sure his hair looked better than mine. Coming up tonight, folks, this is going to be awesome. It's a big, busy night on the stjohnvalley.live platform. We have Friday Night Warrior Lights. So for the third straight Friday, the soccer field lights will come on at 8:20 in honor of the senior class, because military time is 2020. I did not come up with that. That was a national thing that was done by a lot of schools, and we just picked up on it. We're going to play some music and run the clock for 20 minutes, 20 seconds. I think the score will be, you got it, 2020. Also going on, this is awesome, and we're going to bring in the deuce here in a second, right after we go through this. We have on the line, on this platform, the UMFK Cares virtual trivia. I'm hoping and praying for a lot of sports and fitness questions. If not, I might be in trouble unless there's Miami Vice questions, 80s music. UMFK Cares Fund provides assistance to students at the University of Maine at Fort Kent for housing, food, heating, travel, clothing, medical, dental, and mental health, or support during other emergency situations for basic needs for which the student has no other source of funds. So yeah, we're gonna, hey, let's help out the students. I know I'm gonna make a healthy donation for that cause. What a great cause. We have students in this community that just can't leave. They're trapped. So let's help them out. Let's throw them some dollars. Let's have some fun. Rumor has it that Mr. John Coletta is going to be a participant, Miss Leslie Marquis. So I already know I can beat those two. And it's just going to be a great time. Without further ado, we do have the deuce, Mr. Steve Doucette. Let's bring him in. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. There he is. Welcome, Mr. Steve Doucette, the Deuce. You are live on Wake Up SJV. How you doing, bud?
Great, great. Good morning, Mr. Workin. Very nice to see you.
Very nice to see you. You're very professional. We appreciate that. I was curious what you were going to be wearing. So you got some Warrior gear. It is School Spirit Day for us. How many Zooms do you do in any given day, my friend?
I would say I'm averaging about 3 per day. Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a thing.
More and sometimes less, but yeah, I would say on the average at least 3. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, Mr. Doucette, you continue to impress me. I did not know. Now, all I could find was a performance from 2015, but I didn't realize that Bad Mother Boogie. You guys are rocking it. You're good. I just listened to a song this morning. We played it live here.
You did? Oh, sorry,
yeah,
I missed it.
Well, it was good stuff. Let me give you a listen here. Hold on. Here we go. You're wrapping up a number here, but let's
Wow, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Mr. Doucette, where was this? It looks like. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was our that's our original studio, which is in St. Agatha at Nick Burse's house from Burse Farms. He's our lead singer, and that was we called it the Well. Is in the basement, and that was a nice little studio that was built in a matter of days. Him and Josh Bernier, and they did they literally made a whole room, put the electrical and everything, and since then we've expanded to the studio that I have here, which you've been in. I believe I think I have a dent in my ceiling from your head where it hit at one time when we were kind of rocking out there. But
we were, yep. We had Mike. We had both my daughters in there with both your children, and it was just
they were
was
rocking it. We were enjoying it. But I don't know why, but our studios just have very low ceilings, and there's not much clearance for me. So I feel bad that for anyone that's taller than 6'2" or whatever. But no, these are great areas where we get to go and jam and really collaborate and have a lot of fun and let the creative juices flow. And we're learning a lot of cover songs, and then we've been working on some of our own originals as well. But we're also darn busy that we're not much of our stuff has gotten to fruition as far as the original stuff. But we enjoy jamming, and these studios are, we make them so that they're nice and quiet, so we're not blasting away the rest of our family. And it's a great place to melt your stress away and be creative.
Yeah, it's I was just thinking, it's amazing how we all have these passions and these things. For me, it's coaching. Yep. But then you get a family and you get obviously a career, and that kind of changes these things. But then you keep it going in some respect. For me, I coach at the youth level. For you, you still play. You're also in a great band that everybody knows, Staff Infection, who if you have not seen the Battle of the Bands or witnessed that, man, it's incredible, the stuff that we do here.
We do have one of the most entertaining frontmen that you can ask for in a Mr. John Coletta, and we're obviously surrounded by some big talent. I mean, we've got Kurt Harvey accompanying me on guitar. We've got Miss Sylvia Dow playing the keyboards. We've got Mr. Doug Clapp playing the bass. We've got Mr. Taylor Martin playing percussion. So I'm surrounded by some pretty amazing talent, and we have fun every year. We do that just for the kids. Because if it was for us, we'd be doing it year round. But we get together once a year for Winter Carnival, and basically it's just to entertain the kids, and it gives us that connection on a different level, I guess, and shows them that we're just human beings just like them, and we enjoy music like they do, and maybe our music might be a little bit more dated than theirs. Every year I'm really surprised at how much the kids are in tune with classic rock. We used to, back in my day, we'd go out and buy a whole Led Zeppelin collection or a whole, nowadays they just stream a song here and a song there or whatever, and they get the best hit songs or whatever. But they're pretty in tune with the music that we play. We see them sing along and stuff, to our classic tunes. The only thing is, I consider classic rock like 60s and 70s. They consider classic rock 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So that's
yeah, it's amazing. You guys, I wonder how many. We should have a high school Battle of the Bands with staff. I wonder how many other school districts are. But you guys are awesome. Listen, let's change gears here a little bit and talk about your current role as the Dean of Students.
Yep.
Listen, tell us. I've seen you at work. I respect and really admire what you do on a daily basis. But how has Mr. Doucette, how has your role as, the primary disciplinarian changed? You know, usually you're chasing students, you're bringing them into your office, you're doing your thing, but now that's remote. So how is remote discipline working for you?
Uh, yeah, well, you work very closely to me, and especially around lunchtime. And as you know, we don't even our lunches are usually a working lunch, and we're getting constant, um, interruptions in our workflow from these, disciplinary incidences and stuff like that. But I have the same administrative work and clerical work that I'm doing every single day. It's just that right now I'm doing it for the most part uninterrupted, or not as many interruptions during my day. Like right now, we're back at school. We're only mandated 4 hours a day on site, and then expected to do at least 4 hours at home. But Mr. Coletta and I have just been doing the full 8 hours at work because it's to be honest, I have less interruptions while I'm there. I don't have my kids poking at me, but so, and in the way that I'm having to reinvent my position in the way that I'm working with kids. Believe it or not, I'm still doing some disciplinary stuff. Like this week alone, I had 5 cases of plagiarism. So here I'm addressing this with the teachers. I'm addressing it with the parents. I'm addressing it with the students. This remote learning is making it rather tempting for academic dishonesty. So we have to remind our students that academic honesty and academic integrity is still a big part of what we believe in and what we will, what we expect from the students. And unfortunately, in the case where some kids are getting caught, either, handing in identical work from others, or they're just simply copy pasting work online, we can't tolerate that. We have, a higher expectation than that. So we're addressing it on a case by case basis. So anyway, it's been different. It's been phone calls rather than face to face, and it's there's been other tasks that have been handed over to me because we've got a lot of new things, and a lot of planning going on, whether it's 8th grade promotion, graduation. We don't know what summer school is going to look like. It's like, we want to plan for this stuff, but we're kind of, it's hurry up and wait kind of thing in some areas. We've got 3 scenarios that we have to plan for the fall. We don't know if we're still going to be completely remote like this in the fall, or if we're going to have a hybrid of remote and certain days at school, or we may be full-time at school again. So regardless, no matter what, there's going to be different expectations, different protocols, different attendance policies as well. So it's
Sorry, I just had to let my wolf in.
times. What's that?
I said, sorry, I just had to let my wolf in.
Yeah.
Really listen,
cute. He's really cute, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. It's a girl, okay? It's a girl.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Amazing. The more we do these interviews, we're wrapping up week 2 of the show, and just to get the insight, the behind the scenes. I hadn't thought about plagiarism, but I was in college, and that makes sense. It's a good lesson for students. I got to grab a charger. It's a good lesson for students because as you get into college level work or whatnot, that's more free time, that's more responsibility on students, and you see that at the college level, right? You know what I mean? So that's another major thing. Listen, I know you've been working real hard on what graduation is going to look like. So could you talk to us a little bit about 8th grade promotion and CHS graduation, how those are going to look?
Sure. And things are still, developing as we move forward right now. But what I can say for sure is that obviously, like, 8th grade promotion will be on June 5, on Friday, June 5 at 10 a.m. Unfortunately, we have to do it remotely. We are going to be online. We will be live streaming. We will do speeches, the usual, as normal as possible. We'll try to get the same vibe via remotely. But everyone's on board. We've got a couple surprises under our sleeves here with staff. We're discussing right now as far as what we'll be doing for this event, but I don't want to spoil any surprises. But I think that's the best we can do for that, given the times that we have. Graduation, I really feel for all these kids. I mean, it's a gut-wrenching sense. My son's in 8th grade. I was looking forward to promoting him, and seeing, the more traditional method of promotion, and then they usually have their little promotional dance, and it's a celebratory time of year, but that's not going to happen. The same thing with the senior class. They're not going to have, they missed out on their prom, just like the juniors. They're not having their senior week. And these are all traditional things that, go way back in our school district. So for graduation, what we have so far, okay, is we're going to be having it outside on the soccer field, with your permission, Mr. AD. So we're going to have a podium out there. We're going to have a sound system that we've rented from Glenn Landry, same guy that does the sound and lights for our Battle of the Bands and stuff. He's going to set up speakers in a panoramic type of setup where, everyone can hear clearly. Visually, it might be a little bit difficult, because what we're going to have, though, we've measured from like where the podium's going to be, and we go out about 182 feet. Okay, we had to use some math here and figure out what half the circumference would be in order to get a semicircle. Okay, so we're going to have 182 feet of a radius, and we have a lined out semicircle where cars are going to park. Each senior will be allowed up to 2 cars.
Okay.
So in case they have, a split family or whatever, or if they have a large family, they'll be allowed to bring 2 cars. Rudy Martin will be, he's been working hard with this too, and working out the grounds plans and stuff. We were out there on the soccer field in that 20 mile an hour wind yesterday, trying to make measurements, and our lines were getting caught in the wind. But we have it figured out that every 10 feet there will be a line indicating where the parking space will be.
Now, let me ask you something. Ask you something, because our students, I know my students. You've seen the prom the last few years. You've seen the truck parade. I'm sure you maybe already fielded this question. What if a parent or one of those vehicles is a paddy wagon, one of those Yukons, and they've got 35 people in the back, or they, has someone called either you or Mr. Coletta and said, hey, can we bring a flatbed trailer and back that up? And
yeah,
I'm sure that's been asked. Do you have to specify what type of vehicle could be in those?
Right. We have addressed that, because we know what to expect in Fort Kent, Maine now, right? So we haven't sent this information out yet to the parents, but we do have it all in place right now. As far as, you know, we're just dotting our i's and crossing our t's. But part of it is, you know, no flatbeds. You know, people can bring a pickup and put chairs in the back of their pickup and stuff like that. But
Okay, yeah.
you know, it's gonna be you know, limited to you know, cars, you know, minivans and pickups and, you know, normal vehicles like that. No recreational vehicles, no, you know, trailers, and we don't want a fifth wheel out back there and stuff, and people camping out. And so, what we're going to do though, okay, so semicircle every 10 feet, there's going to be cars. We're going to have the students sit. There's going to be a chair with their name on it and stuff, and possibly a picture of them too, on the back of the chair, so they know exactly where their child is sitting. Okay, the students will be sitting in that semicircle. All right, and we're going to do the graduation like we normally do. We're going to have, you know, we're going to have the procession. We're going to have the recessional song. We're going to have the class song. We're going to have, we might even have a little acoustic music from the class as well, a little performance. Again, we're going to be practicing social distancing with everything. The students will be approximately 20 feet away from each other. Okay. But when they come in to get their diplomas, we're going to have them kind of, you know, line up possibly about 10 feet from each other and come down and grab their diploma off of a table. You know, it's different, but I think if we have good weather, this could be, you know, one of our most exciting graduations that we've had, because it's so different. We are going to keep the traditional things like, you know, scholarships and awards and all that kind of stuff as part of that as well, and speeches, and but we're just going to be a little bit further from each other. You know, we plan on having a rehearsal on Wednesday of that week, and that way parents know where they're going to be parking ahead of time. Students will know where they're sitting ahead of time, just to go through the motions one time at least, you know, just to direct people. And unfortunately, you know, the public won't be allowed to attend. You know, this is going to be, you know, just immediate family or whoever the graduate chooses to be there, but they will be limited to 2 cars only. It will be live streamed. We're going to have Chaz Pelletier working with us on that. He's been incredible for our community in regards to helping us with games and everything else. And what a way to end the year and have him live stream our graduation, you know.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So after the ceremony, we are going to have a parade downtown, you know, police, fire trucks. We're going to make as much noise as possible. We'll have that go through town a couple times, and then we're going to end at Lonesome Pine Trails, where cars will park in a horizontal fashion facing the mountain. And we're going to have a wonderful fireworks display to end the evening. And that's not something we've ever had at one of our graduations. So I think this could be a really neat and cool thing. You know, it's going to be different though, but I think we've overcome a lot of hurdles. And I think we can, you know, we do have a rain date of the following day and even Sunday if we have to. So, you know, we'll have 3 days to pick from.
Sounds awesome. And you know, like so much that we've learned in so many different aspects, maybe this changes graduation moving forward. You know, the negative about being in our gym is you're so packed in there. You know, my hair gets messed up. It's so hot. It's
Right.
It's just packed in there. So to be able to look at a different format that we could use possibly moving forward is pretty awesome. So I want to thank you and the other people that are involved in this planning. It sounds great. Is it 58 seniors? That's correct.
57.
57. Okay, 57 seniors in this year's class. So
Correct.
that sounds great. Listen, will education ever be the same? And obviously we know that's probably not true. And how the heck is this going to look in the fall for us? Can you give us any insight for grades 7 to 12 in the fall? I know a lot of this is week by week, month by month, but what are you hearing from your neck of the woods on what it's going to look like in the fall, Mr. Doucette?
Okay. Well, in the short, in the short term, it's not going to look the same. Until we have a vaccine for COVID-19, there's going to be, you know, an extra sense of caution there. So we're going to have to, um, you know, get around this some way somehow. Whether it's going to be fully remote, like we're doing right now, whether it's like I said earlier, it may be a hybrid to reduce the numbers, and or it may be business as usual by then. We really don't know. We're still 3 months out, and just a few short months ago, things were normal, and look how drastically they've changed already. So we're waiting for the scientific community to come up with that miracle vaccine for everyone, and so there's a lot in limbo right now, depending on what happens with our environment. Will it ever look the same? I think people will be much more educated in communicable diseases. I think we can lower the number of influenza cases even around the world, using these same universal precautions that we're using right now. There's no reason that the flu spreads the way it does. People are just, not taking precautions. It's not cool to wear a mask, or it's not cool to be hand sanitizing every 15 minutes or whatever. So I think it's going to make people more aware and more cautious and more careful as far as the spread of viruses and whatnot. So that'll change.
For sure.
But
Sorry to interrupt you, but take us through this real quick. If you can see this on the screen, this is now available online.
Yep.
On the district webpage. This is amazing work, by the way, but this is the Valley Unified Reintegration Plan timeline. What I call the 4 R's. Yeah. So you see some dates. Just give us a snapshot. We don't have too much time here.
Sure.
But I would encourage everyone who's invested in education to take a look at this, because this is well mapped out. But let's start with June 1 through June 26. But really, real quick, Deuce, take us through this.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is Mr. Peter Caron's wordsmithing here with the 4 R's. So that was a creation on his part. But June 1 to June 26, we're like right now we're integrating on-site work again. We're showing up. Like yesterday, pretty much the administration is there every day at school right now, including our guidance counselors that are there right now. They're trying to plan the schedule for next year. They're reaching out to kids that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. They're doing a lot of phone calls, reaching out. They're doing a lot of SEL work with students and stuff. So they're quite busy still. So it's nice to be able to work in your own office where you have your filing cabinets and stuff. And we hope that teachers can start resuming that workflow as well. So we're going to have a gradual return back to on-site work. We're not sure yet what summer school is going to look like during this time either. So we're working on that right now. But
Mr. Doucette, sorry to interrupt you again. We do have a question here on Facebook Live. Eric Bouchard is asking, when and what time is CHS graduation? We know it's June 12th. Is there a time set for that?
Right now, it's tentatively set for 7. We weren't sure based on what we wanted to do and how we were going to do it, and whether we needed the lights from the field and stuff, because we do need the power for other things now, we know, with the PA system and stuff. And then also, we don't want it to do it too early, because if we're going to have a fireworks display, you need it to be dark. So right now, tentatively, it's going to start at 7 p.m. sharp. Okay, but that's why things haven't gone out yet officially. It could be that, it's pushed to 7:30 or something like that. So, but right now, tentatively 7 p.m.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Question there, Eric.
Thank you, and thanks for your question, Eric Bouchard, the man. Okay, so the 4 R's. Keep rolling here, my friend.
And then,
we're
going to have some professional development in the coming days too. After the last student day, we're going to, on June 5, we're going to have some professional development. We're going to work all this stuff out with staff as well. We're going to do some planning for next year. We're going to collect a lot of data. The resumption phase, basically, this is going to be, this is not going to change. What might change is the recalibration and the reintegration phases and things like that. But this is pretty much set in stone. So we're going to have our teachers and ed techs prepare for, a wide variety of different types of instructions and what the school day might look like in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you to everyone that's been involved with that, starting with our superintendent, Mr. Ben Sirwa, and then there is 4 teams. For example, I'm on the health and wellness safety
Correct.
team, and people need to realize that's Valley Unified wide. So that's all different types of players from each district, and what a way to bring us together and to work on this. I know there's some other, as an athletic director and a phys ed teacher, there are other schools and other districts asking what we're doing because it seems like we're to pat our own backs, but we're kind of ahead of the game here, which is good to hear. So
I hate to compare it to other school districts and stuff, statewide or whatever, but I mean, we are quite progressive, and we are ahead of the curve for sure. And that's thanks to our leadership, including our superintendent, Mr. Ben Sirwa. And we are surrounded by so much talent in this valley that it's nice that we're finally pooling our resources amongst 3 districts rather than doing our own thing. How we did that in the past seems foreign to me already, because we've been working so closely together, and it's been really nice. I will say though that we do have a lot of bright shining stars in our school districts, and you're definitely one of them, Mr. Workin. The amount of public relations that you've been doing for our community, these live streams here, the turning on of the lights every Friday, you've kept us afloat, and you've been a motivation to me and many others in the last 3 months here. Your work has been incredible. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, Deuce. And like you said, right when we started this interview, it's all about the kids. It's about the students. Listen, you've got 2 children at home. You mentioned Braden is an 8th grader.
Yep.
You have Reese, who is the same age as my daughter. They're good friends.
Yeah.
And then your wife is a teacher at MSAD 33.
Yep.
How are you both able to juggle all this? So you're an administrator. She's a teacher. You've got 2 children that are trying to learn remotely. How has that been personally for your family?
It's been a struggle. I'm going to be upfront and transparent here, but it's been a real struggle. It's requiring my wife to work, even though she was working 12 hours a day before, including weekends and taking classes and during the summer and whatnot. And it's for the amount of time they had to learn how to get around this and teach from home and everything, and going down to SW Collins to buy whiteboards, and it was done rather quick. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of her and all the teachers out there that have been teaching from home, doing it through Zoom. They're doing a lot of one-on-one tutorials too, because they don't have that warrior time. They don't have after school time with the kids or before school or during lunch. So they're having to meet with them like this here. And they're having half hour, sometimes 1 hour sessions with just one or two kids that are struggling. They're emotionally, struggling as well, because this is making it so difficult to reach out to the kids. I mean, let's face it, they didn't go into this career because they were going to get rich out of it. They did it because it's a calling, it's a passion. And part of that is that student connection. You're not able to do that when you're working from home, and the teachers know the kids, and they sense when the kids are in need and stuff and struggling. And so there's an emotional drain there. And then just, how teachers always say it's more work to plan for a sub than it is to just do the work. Well, basically,
Yep.
they're doing that every day, where they have to plan, strategically for each, class that they're doing, to try to make it, entertaining, to try to make it worthwhile and valid. And so it's tough. It's really tough. They've been working longer hours than ever. As far as the kids, it's tough for them too, because they're trying to do their work. Dad's on a Zoom meeting in one room and mom's teaching in another room, and they're on the couch, fending for themselves, doing their work. And a lot of distractions at home too, and they're missing that social interaction big time. My kids want to be back in school, man.
That's
It's
the biggest thing. It's the obviously the education is awesome. And I agree with you. The teachers are really doing a great job, but the social piece is really what we're missing, and that's the hard thing. But there are ways around that. I love the Zoom parties or the Facebook parties and I know students are trying to do that. I've seen my daughters do it. Just a way to stay connected to their friends, man, is the biggest thing. But it's really a great challenge. But you guys make a great pair, you and your wife. You've got great kids. Obviously stay positive there. I want to change gears. We're running out of time, but you're the member of two bands, man. So who's better? Bad Mother Boogie, or Staph Infection? Who's
well,
better? Come on.
I'll say that they're different.
Oh, okay, politically correct.
Bad Mother Boogie, I would say, is more of the polished band, because we've been playing. Oh my gosh, we've been together for at least 8, 9, 10 years maybe, or something. So obviously there's a chemistry there that you can't reproduce just by, jamming for a week or so with another band. But the level of excitement that I get in each band is equal, man. I have so much fun playing with these amazing people.
Now, when you started Staph Infection, we can make a movie out of this, like Bohemian Rhapsody. Did Bad Mother Boogie members get upset with you that the lead guitarist is now cheating on Bad Mother Boogie with Staph Infection? I mean, we could start a movie here, we could do an hour-long Netflix.
Right. Documentary. Where are they now? No, but I was not part of the inception of Staph Infection. The original people were Mr. Coletta and Mr. Clapp that are still in the band. We had other faculty back in the day. That was before I was even there. Okay. I think Mr. Charles Pelletier, who is no longer teaching with us anymore, but he was I believe he was the guitar player. and we had a music teacher in there. We had, there was different people, but anyway, so I was in staph infection before I was in Bad Mother Boogie. So it's the other way
Okay,
around, actually.
gotcha. Now listen, we've featured since I got us in trouble during week one. I was playing like 80s videos, and so YouTube got upset with us. So since then, it's triggered this local music featuring every day, which I love. I'm done
Okay.
playing. I'm done playing that stuff. There's we featured Empty Head,
Awesome.
French Toast, French Toast,
Excellent.
Travis Sear this week by
Nice.
recommendation from Nicole Jondro. Travis is incredible. Yesterday was Adam Neto,
Yep.
who we played. Today, obviously, is Bad Mother Boogie. Do you have any other recommendations on local artists that we could start featuring? We're gonna create a hub, so to speak, where we can have all this music housed. But do you have some other artists that we can add to this list?
Absolutely. Well, well, there is Adam Willett from Madawaska, who's a solo artist. But
Okay.
lately, he's been doing Friday evening shows with CJ Terrio from Fort Kent here, where CJ's doing like percussion and Adam's doing either acoustic guitar or keyboards and singing. And
Great.
so
As you speak.
they've been playing regularly almost every week, and it's a good way to end the week. Sometimes we'll play that in the background, and just gives us a sense of some normalcy. Let's see, there's not a whole lot. Oh, well, there is another local band, Boomerang, who is a like
Yes.
classic rock band. Bunch of great guys, love them.
Mr.
um
Neto recommended Boomerang yesterday, so you
yeah,
guys are
yeah.
on the same. You're on the same
And
page with something.
we've been and all our recordings and stuff are from the Blues and Jazz Festival, and other snippets that people have recorded and put on our website, which is on Facebook, by the way, Bad Mother Boogie, if anyone wants
Yes,
to
we
check it
did
out.
plug that this morning.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was a good band back in the day. Now I'm dating myself here, but 20 years ago, John Clavette had a band. Do you remember the name of that band?
Oh man.
Wasn't it like Trippin' Daisies or Billies or Willies or what the heck was the name? Anyway, I
I just
remember them.
remember John Clavette as a solo artist now, but I forget what the
I'm
name
just
of.
gonna put John Clavette's band, and we're gonna find out if anybody out there listening
Yeah,
knows.
yeah,
But they were good. I remember them. But
yeah.
anyway, we're going to keep doing that. And I think it's a great way,
Awesome.
Mr. Doucette, to really promote local artists. We're rolling them out now every morning here. And hopefully people either watch this live or they watch it archived, and they pick up on your band or other bands. And
Another
now
band that we're part of, we reunited last year after 20 years. We used to play around here quite a lot, back when Edna and Camille's was in town, and the hotel and all these places, BJ's. And this band was called Revolver. And
okay, yeah.
yeah, so we have something on Facebook as well. We reunited last year after like a 20-year anniversary kind of thing, and we do have some live footage there, I believe, from a few festivals. So we just did a handful of gigs last year just for fun in the summer, and that was a great time. The bass player is a police officer from Madawaska now, and the drummer is a business owner in Madawaska. The singer is from Presque Isle, works for SAD1. All great people as well. And I just
Awesome.
love how music brings people together, and it's kind of like an extended family. So yeah, so that's something else. God, I hope I'm not forgetting that.
There you go. Listen, Revolver.
Is that us? Oh, That's something our bass player put together as a like a montage. That's not even our music in the background. we teased him about that. We're like, "What were you doing?" He's like, "Well, I just wanted to post pictures of our gig." I said, "Well, you could at least put our music in the background, you know." So that's not our music. We can't take credit for that. But I think
Gotcha.
there's some videos from people that have recorded them at our gigs. But so anyway. Well, thank you so
Great.
much for highlighting all this stuff and, you
Oh,
know,
for
and
sure.
for
We could,
everything that you're doing. And I love what you've been doing with your phys ed students and all these challenges and stuff. And, you know, man, you're an inspiration, Mr. Workin.
well, likewise, it certainly is a pleasure to work with you, and now side by side remotely, my friend. But
We don't
better
do
days are
much together
coming.
anymore, but usually that was the time when we connect and take care of a lot of AD stuff and sports, athletic stuff. But
Yeah, listen, we're really looking forward to eighth grade promotion, June 5th, and then graduation. I want to thank you for joining us. I want to wish your family the best. And Braden is really, does he catch dinner on a weekly basis? I mean, that kid is a fishing machine. So have him keep it up.
yeah.
But thanks for joining us. I know we went over a little bit today on Friday, but I want to thank you and have a great day and a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you, and to you as well. And everyone stay safe, stay healthy, and keep your spirits up. Better days coming.
Awesome. Thank you. That was the Dean of Students, Mr. Steve Doucette.
Take care.
I want to thank him for joining us this morning. We have about 6 minutes left here as our producer, Chaz Pelletier, has allowed us to go about 10 minutes over today. In closing, I want to promote once again Bad Mother Boogie, Revolver, Staph Infection. You can Facebook Bad Mother Boogie. You can Facebook Revolver. Check them out. Great, great music. Coming up this evening, we have Friday Night Warrior Lights. That will start at 8:20. The clock and the lights will roll for 20 minutes, 20 seconds. Also, remember that tonight is a benefit. It is the UMFK Cares virtual trivia, and that's hosted by No Nonsense's Nico. So we're looking forward to that. What is the time on that? I believe that starts 7:30. Anyway, that starts tonight. So that's a great benefit, a great cause. If you're financially able, please make a donation. Any monetary amount will help these UMFK students who are, for lack of a better phrase, trapped here. But it's a great place to be trapped, by the way. Coming up next week, we will keep rolling Monday through Friday. Boomerang will be the featured band, as long as I can find footage and music on them. But Boomerang will roll out Monday. The guest list is currently being worked on for next week, and we will reveal that over the weekend. I want to wish everybody a great weekend. The weather's going to be awesome. Get outside, be active, and practice safe social distancing. Have a great weekend. Take care.